Well, greetings everyone. This is the 7th Sabbath in the 7 Sabbath day count. Tonight at sundown is going to begin the Feast of Pentecost, which will be May 30th at sundown until May 31st at sundown will be the day of Pentecost, and who knows what sorts of things our King may bring about for us in that day. We'll just have to wait and see. I do want to discuss some things that I find really exciting, okay? One thing is I had gone to the store and I had, bought green onions, and I cut these tops off. You can see they still grew in the fridge a bit. I bought 5 of them, and I just cut the green tops off, and then I put them in a cup. And you can see, they grow right back. And the onions in the bottom are going to be getting bigger, and all you got to do is just snip off the top and they'll regrow again and again and again. I usually like the green parts the best anyway. Something else I found very exciting, I was looking online, before, and it's Sabbath. I'm not advertising anyone to buy or sell today. This is just for information purposes. But here you got Greek dill, 500 seeds, Mediterranean edible leaf green plant herb is how they got it listed. 500 dill seeds you can get for $5.50. But they send it to you for free, and on this particular item, they'll get it to you by Monday, June 29th, and Thursday, July 9th. Okay, so it's quite a wait. So I had to do some digging in my pantry where I've got a lot of things stored up, and I came across this. Of course, this is a whole bag of dill seeds. There's probably 100,000 or more in this bag of the dill seeds, and of course it was from 2016, so it's 4 years old. And what I did was I got my cups, and you can see I put a generous amount of seeds in each one of these, and just today I got real excited. Our King knows how to make me excited, I'll tell you, but I don't know if you could see them too well or not, but there's a few of them coming up in here, and like I say, I put in about 30 seeds in each one of these cups, and they started to sprout. So I also went out yesterday, as I said, and I had bought some of the fresh herbs that they have in Tops grocery store. One of them was a poultry mix that had sage, it had thyme and dill in there. And no, not dill, rosemary. It had rosemary, sage, and thyme in that. And then I bought a separate package of dill. Kind of disappointed because some of it was actually rotting in that package. And what I did is I trimmed it down, and I put some hormones on the roots there for the stem, and I stuck them down in my cocoa coir, and hopefully here within a few days they'll start growing roots and come up pretty well. But anyway, I've had this dill that's been sitting on my kitchen sink, waiting for the seeds to come up, and boom, there it is. Once again, you can pay exorbitant amounts for dill seeds, from those that sell them. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive for 500 seeds. And this here I had picked up cost me about, maybe $2, I think, when I was in Texas. Just before I left Texas, I went to the natural grocers, and I picked up a few bags of different things that I put in storage. And of course, another thing here you go, you can get Greek celery, 1 gram, 1,000 seeds for $5.50. I think this is the same seller, because the same time's Monday, June 29th, and Monday, July 6th is when you could expect to get them in. So what I did instead, and I'll give you an update on it a little later, is I went out and I bought me a jar of celery seed. I mean, look at that. There's a whole lot more than 1 gram in this bad baby. The jar is pretty heavy. I think it says 7 ounces. I'm thinking. I can't really see too well in this light. But anyway, I'm going to germinate some of these. Hopefully they'll grow. I just bought this here off the shelf. Of course, I had some other containers because I love celery seed. I use it in my soups and things of that sort. And I've got a few containers that I got from the Amish, but that was from back 2014. You know, that they were supposed to sow the seed by. So we're talking, you know, 6 years at least old that seed is. So I figured I'd go on to the fresher stuff. But I'll give you an update on that. And something else that I find really exciting is you can take yourself a milk jug, you know, an empty milk jug, and do the same thing sort of as these, to where you could always have yourself some fresh onion greens and such. And yesterday I went out and I bought shallots and I bought these other smaller onions. And what I'm going to do is I'll cut the top off this, leaving the handle on there for support, but I'll just cut the top off, and I'll cut holes in the side here and there, you know, and then I'll take the onions as I fill them up with the cocoa coir. I'll put the onions on the inside, so where they'll grow the greens will be up coming outside. And once these start growing, they're going to start growing these greens all over the place. They'll just start growing up, and I'll show you that too once I get it going and get it started. I bought about 10 of these between them. One of them was already putting out the green. I was quite impressed. The tops had, you know, a bunch of fruits and vegetables, you know, especially onions. Some of them was all squishy and juicy and rotted there where they haven't gone through it for a while. But I figured that since I did find a couple that were actually growing, then I know these will grow pretty well. So I'll show you how to do this at a later date. You know, I'll have the top cut off, filled up with holes where these are going to be sitting out. And that way, anytime you need greens or whatever, onion flavoring in your soups or fried or whatever else, you just clip off the top. Boom. Perfect. Okay, and the bad babies will double or triple or quadruple in size these containers, so that at the end of the year, if you want, and you can keep it going year round actually, but if you need a whole onion or, you know, a nice shallot or whatever, you can just dig it up and take it out, replace it if you want with another onion or whatever. And I just figure that's pretty neat. I wanted to share that with you. I love y'all. Enjoy the Sabbath. Don't forget, tonight is sundown is Pentecost. May our King be joyous in the prayers that we offer up for our brothers and sisters on that day. And let's not forget to cry out for judgment. Love you all. Shabbat Shalom.